my friends, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In yesterday's video, we finished exploring Howe's estate and rescuing the Queen. In today's video, we're going to, where is it? Head back to Eamon's estate, and I don't know what we're gonna do from there. So here we go. Probably gonna fight more people. Maybe the Queen will thank me, and I don't know. All the angry people are gone. Oh, and there's the chest that Liliana can loot now. It looks like nothing. Nothing of importance. Is there anything else down here before I take off? Just in case? Because wasn't this a back way in? Yeah. Alright. Let's head out of here and go back to Eamon's and... Well, oh, there's a soldier. Hello, soldier. Oh, just loot. Loot, I failed to loot, as usual.
As you wish.
Okay, so let's go to Eamon's estate. There's a win. And let's see. Arl Eamon, all the way up at the top. Well, let's go check in with him first. I want to talk to Zevron since we're back here. Since we did, I'm guessing that was his personal quest that I kind of vaguely read about online when I was trying to figure out how to trigger it. But, oh look, the Queen's here.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Sir Catherine's death is a waste, truly. But I suppose it could not be helped.
Well, yeah. Does Anora being here affect the plans of a Landsmeet? Yeah. Does Anora being here affect our plans for the Landsmeet?
I fear that my escape will make matters worse. Now that he cannot use me to support his claim on Merrick's throne, he may resort to drastic measures to stay in power. I doubt he will say anything publicly, at least until he has a better idea what to expect.
How much time do we have how much time do we have to defeat him?
Very little. We will need to work together, and quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat, yet even now I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it.
Is there no way to reason with him, though?
I thought so. I'd hoped so. Howe's influence was strong. His death can only be a good thing, but even that will not be enough. I know my father, and he is committed to his course. He will see this through, no matter what. You will need ammunition come the Landsmeet, and I can help you in that regard. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Howe and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Anora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Howe's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet. But you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me.
And just how are you stronger? I mean, pretty much anybody I feel like is stronger than Alistair, but let's ask the question anyway.
I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough. And decent. But even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Anora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Riordan's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father, Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Interesting.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Galen was a good boy, but Anora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same.
Why do you think she's trouble?
This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Anora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain.
Yeah, but... And she's single. And she's single now, right? I mean, like... I guess. Yeah, he's planning to depose her. Honestly, I think she would make a better ruler than Alistair.
Anora was a capable administrator for Kaelin's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
But he doesn't want to be king. Alistair doesn't know the first thing about being king. Yeah, Alistair doesn't... Or actually, but Alistair's mother was a scullery maid. How is that any better?
Thanks. I am right here, you know.
Sorry.
His mother was a maid, but his father was Merrick Therin, for whom we all risked our lives to win back the throne. I only wish Merrick had taken more time to instruct the lad in the politics of ruling. I did my best, but we all hoped Kaelin and Anora would secure the succession.
I don't think he should marry Anora. I don't think he should be at all. Why is it so important to put Merrick's son on the throne? Explain that to me.
Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Terniers.
But Calenhad wasn't a king, so eventually somebody who wasn't a king had to become a king or royal. Yeah, Alistair doesn't know the first thing about being a king.
No, I don't, which I've told both of you on many occasions. If Anora's turned against Loghain, I say let her keep the crown. It looks better on her anyway.
You're both wrong. With a few months of experience, Alistair will make a fine king. He knows how to lead troops to defend his land. He knows how to stand and fight for justice. He knows how to show compassion to those less fortunate, and how to trust to the Maker's guidance to know right from wrong. And he knows who to turn to for aid, should that training fail him. He will be fine.
I have many disagreements with those statements. I feel like you just want him there because you can manipulate him and you can't manipulate Anora. And he's said repeatedly that he doesn't want to do it, so basically he's abdicated. Anyway, let's talk about something else.
We certainly have a great deal to plan.
What do you think Loghain's doing in the alienage?
Maker knows what that man is capable of now.
Okay, I've got work to do, I guess.
Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Anora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Codex updated. Unrest in the alienage. Well, I think I completed a quest too, didn't I? Denerim. It seems Anora managed to get to Eamon's estate, where she will be staying as a guest. Okay, unrest in the alienage. Queen Anora has told you about unrest in the alienage. She suspects that Loghain and Howe have done something to greatly upset the elves. Investigate the alienage and see if you can find out what Loghain has been up to. Oh, finally, I'm excited. We get to go to the ghetto. I shouldn't be excited about that. I feel like that's the wrong word. Oh, look, Riordan's over there. Well, let's talk to Alistair.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Ask away.
Okay, I feel like that was the same as what you said last time.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time.
I'm sure we've got plenty of time.
We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the lands meet.
Okay, let me save. In case I screw up any conversations. Let's talk to Riordan.
I'm glad you made it safely away. I hear Howe's death has already brought no small amount of cheer to the city.
It brought a lot of cheer to me. Okay, let's see. Did you know Duncan very well?
We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only where he ever let himself down.
I was hoping I could learn a bit more about the Grey Wardens since you're here.
Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths.
Okay. How many Wardens are there?
It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Riordan deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is.
Maybe it did. Have you ever been to the fortress in Weishaupt?
Once only, and I'd rather not go again.
Really?
It's far, lad. And very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight darkspawn like you and me. But they're shaped by the winters there in the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way.
How are the Wardens founded?
It was near 1,200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Ander soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, although none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas.
Why has it been so long since the last Blight?
Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between Blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them. And it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations.
Okay, I guess it's all for
The
now.
important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
Yeah, big picture, I
I'm
guess.
glad you made it safely away.
Okay.
I hear Howe's death has already brought no small amount of cheer to the city.
What are your plans now?
When I'm well enough, I'm going to continue my journey toward Ostagar. Hopefully I'll be able to trace the heart of the Blight and where the Archdemon itself abides. If we want to defeat this Archdemon, we need to know where it is and how soon it might strike.
Let's see. You're going alone? Shouldn't I go with you?
If there were more of us, I would agree. But as it is, I don't think we can deprive all the armies you've gathered of a commander. Cheer to the city.
Okay, are these your papers?
I wondered what Howe did with them. Yes, these are my records. Names of the dead I recognized at Ostagar. What was left of Duncan's recruitment records. Some encrypted copies of the joining ritual that I retrieved from our Denerim vault. Those at least ought to have stayed private.
What vault?
It's located just off the Market District in the northern alley past the Old Noble Tavern. I'll sketch out the code which will let you pass the lock wheel.
Oh.
Inside you can take your pick of whatever equipment remains. It is the stockpile the Wardens have kept for centuries, for the defense of Denerim.
Great.
Good luck to you.
I wanted to ask
I'm glad you
more
made it
questions.
safely away. I hear House death has already brought no small amount.
All right, I guess that's it. That stinks. But let's try and look for Anora. Let's see, where is she? My room. Anora's room is right next door. I'm not getting flirty with Anora. Not really. Let's see. Anora's room. Well, before we talk to her, let's talk to Erlina real quick.
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
Okay, that's lovely. All right, Anora.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. First, let me say that I knew your family. Eleanor, in particular, was dear to me, and what Hal did was unforgivable. How fitting he died at your hands. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Riordan will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne.
I don't think I'm as important as you believe. Why should I support you? Well, yeah, explain to me why I should support you.
For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Kaelin's queen. As much as they loved Kaelin, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Kaelin was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Erlina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine.
She is right. And if she ruled for Kaelin, because let's be honest, the few minutes we have with Kaelin, he seemed more about like a warrior's glory than actually running a country. But then again, we were at war. But if she ran the country instead of Kaelin, that's a good resume. But you think you're a better candidate than Alistair?
Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness.
It's true, he probably isn't the best suited.
Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn.
A kind king who is a fine warrior no. Just how do you know so much about him?
Kaelin knew of Alistair. It was Arl Eamon that kept Alistair out of the courts, as Merrick had desired. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built.
No, you make a good argument. I don't think Alistair has the chops to be king. He's kind of I just feel like he would annoy people enough to want to leave the kingdom. He's just that annoying. Okay, well, what is your alternative then?
I have ruled this nation on Kaelin's behalf for many years. I am a great queen, and as beloved by my people as I love them. Riordan needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the Blight and after. That is not Alistair. Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it.
Are you proposing an alliance then?
That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Riordan, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot.
No, I don't think you should marry him. What happens to Loghain if you're queen, though?
He is my father, as well as a great general. who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it.
I mean, I don't know the full effect of Logain's crimes, but he is a great warrior. He is a great general. He knows how to get stuff done when it comes to battles. So maybe he could just, I don't know what my options are with him, but yeah, he could be useful, like in the Blight. Like that's what I'm thinking here is Edward. He could be useful. So I would rather he lived. He would be useful.
I am glad to hear it. In the end, it will be up to the Landsmeet to decide, I think. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement?
Well, I think I would need more than just your support. Probably.
Once I am queen, I will be in a position to grant you whatever you wish. And I shall. This is in addition to Highever being properly restored to you. That should go without saying, I trust. Alistair might promise you the same, I suppose. But I would ask which is better. The gratitude of a weak king, or of a strong queen. And even if it is not for you, think of what I could do for the Grey Wardens. Think of what I could do for your companions. I trust I have made my point.
Yeah, you did. What if you had a strong king beside you? Oh, I wonder if... What if you had a strong king beside you?
Tempting. You are of Cousland blood, it's true. Despite the fact that you are also a Grey Warden, it would be unprecedented, but a man like you could make a fine prince and consort. Is this what you are actually proposing? My hand for your support?
Interesting. I wondered if that's where that was going, because if you think about it, she's the daughter of a Terran, which is like next only in royalty. I'm the son of a Terran, next only to royalty. So if we're going to get rid of Merrick's bloodline, then maybe the top two families would be the next best thing. But I love my Morrigan. But maybe this is what's best for the country, and I don't know. I feel like that's what Edward might need to do for the betterment of the country, like big picture, but I don't know. He loves Morgan. So actually we're just gonna go with it. I feel like this, I like where this is going. So I want to do it. So very well, marry me and you can have my support.
Very well. It is too good an opportunity to pass up. Once I am coronated, I will take your hand as my consort. So we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me?
I have some questions, of course.
Ask me whatever you like.
Okay. Does it make you uncomfortable siding against your father?
Of course it does. Do you think me heartless?
Well...
But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband?
Did you love Kaelin? I met him at Ostagar. He was a good man. He was a fool. Did you love Kaelin? We'll just go with that one.
It seems a strange word to describe a marriage our parents arranged when he was newly born and I still in swaddling clothes, but yes, I loved him. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked to remain the silent wife in my husband's shadow.
Do you know why Logain left Kaelin to die?
Kaelin was so idealistic. The world was his storybook, and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Kaelin would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Kaelin dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream he wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down.
Well, I am sorry for your loss. You did seem to care about him.
It was more than just my own loss. But I thank you all the same.
Okay, another question.
Ask me whatever you like.
What do you think will happen after the lands meet?
Do you want me to try my luck at fortune telling?
Yes.
There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Warren when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already.
I'd like to understand Loghain better if possible.
Well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing. I remember my mother once asking his help with a sick rose vine. My mother oversaw the rose gardens personally. He touched it. No more than that. And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden, but he is far from common.
Why doesn't Loghain back down?
Because he believes he is right, Warden. He thinks he is the only one who can see Riordan out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Riordan. That is the saddest part of all, I think.
Do you think he's truly beyond reason?
I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes.
Why would he ever have trusted Arl Howe?
Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly. My father knew what Howe was, and while I despised the man, I knew that father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stemmed from Howe and not my father at all. We may never know.
Do you think he planned on overthrowing Kaelin before Ostagar?
I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Kaelin was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Kaelin was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine.
Okay, another question.
Ask me whatever you like.
No, I should go.
Then I wish you luck, Warden.
It's interesting that I can propose a marriage alliance between the two of us. I mean, I think Edward's nobility, he gets that marriage isn't necessarily like a love match at nobility. And let's be honest, Morgan's not going to marry him. So maybe he can have a marriage of alliance with Anora, but still be with his lady love, that's Morgan. I feel like she would get it. But I don't know. Anyway, well, let me talk to a couple more companions to see if there's anything new.
If one more servant asks if I... What comes, my friend?
Why are you calling me a friend?
We are hardly alone, so privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
So what do I have to do to get on your good side?
You are already on my good side, such as it is. Or do you seek something else? Something more... intimate?
I think I'm ready to move forward, yes.
Oh, good to know that. Let me see. I would expect favor to come with a price. Perhaps you would be willing to pay a compliment. Is that too much?
I am brilliant and amazing. You're brilliant and amazing, Morgan.
I suppose stating the obvious will have to do.
Oh.
Very well, then. You are on my good side. Best watch your step that you don't fall off.
Oh, +1. Is she still in love with me? She's still in love with me. I did kiss Morgan again, so I think she's still in love with me, but I don't know. This whole relationship is very weird. And she did relocate over here next to my bed with Alfred. I'm not really sure. But this is where I'm going to wrap up for today, now that I've babbled some more. Tomorrow we'll probably talk to all of our companions again and see if there's anything new, and then we'll work on this Unrest in the Alien Age quest. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow with another new Dragon Age Origins video.